he just really reminded me that he's really like Lil Yachty's kind of like Tyler the Creator's evil twin, like in a lot of the shit that he's saying.
Do yourself a favor and subscribe to the channel before you even watch this episode. Right into it. We've got so much content that you can check out. We've got blind dating, old episodes with all of our recording crew to get to know them. And Ethan, anything you want to say about that?
Lock in, guys. Lock in with us, man. I know we've been uploading spontaneously this summer, but just make sure to like, subscribe. We upload a lot on TikTok and Instagram, so if you want more like kind of current stuff, make sure to follow us there. But like I said, we're gonna keep making these pod episodes for y'all. We like doing it more than anything else. But make sure to subscribe to our recording, and let's get into the intro.
Yep, it's the Are We Recording podcast with the young Rottweiler, and I'm 007 Gage Sutton. Again, the Are We Recording podcast back again, and as Ethan stated, a little bit of a spontaneous upload schedule this summer, and that's usually how it is for us in the summer. We're busy guys, as is, but during the summer, I just feel like you and me are out and about a little bit more. I feel like we're
mixy boys. We're mixy boys a lot during the summer.
Yeah, I mean, we're working hard too during the week. We stay grinding. We stay at the gym and we stay at work making some money.
Yep. We've been some mixy boys, but our birthdays have been in the summertime. I know it hasn't been that long since we last uploaded, so we definitely talked about our birthdays. But now that it's like the summertime and you're 24, old as fuck, and I'm 23, young, but
old as
fuck. But it made me think, like, I was thinking about certain shit that I would do during the summertime, like maybe get together like at the lake, even though it's because I live right behind the lake. It's too hot. It's too hot to even go at the lake between like 12 and 5 o'clock. Like, you got to go towards the evening. But it made me start to realize some shit that we should not do anymore. Like, we're too old to do certain shit. For example, right?
Okay.
I know summertime's not over yet, but Halloween, like going out to the clubs in costumes, now that we're 23 years old, I think it might be done with. I don't know if we can celebrate Halloween like that anymore.
Wow, that's a bold one, man. Really, you think so? Like, even on like if we're going to 6th Street as a squad.
Yeah, I think it's too much now going out for Halloween. I think we could celebrate Halloween as in like doing house parties, but I don't know. Like, I just think like
costume parties at a house party are okay though.
Yeah, costume parties at like somebody like if like about like 25, 30 people to like a costume party at someone's house, that is like some adult shit. That's some shit that we should be transitioning towards. Okay. But like going on 6th Street and going on the clubs in our costumes, I feel like this is like the last like a year or two where we can get away with it. You know what I mean? I think for us, like, because we go down a lot because we live near college towns like Denton or the Square in San Marcos, or even UTSA. I think beforehand we had like the last, like, ever since we turned 21, we could be able to go. I think we're kind of transitioning going to like college town bars. Then now we actually kind of have to go to big city clubs and bars. You know what I'm saying?
That's fair.
Like, yeah. That like you might not feel comfortable anymore, like going down to the Square in San Marcos anymore, right?
That was actually the one I was gonna bring up. Is I was like, as I'm getting older, I just find it, and we've talked about it on the pod, I just find it harder and harder as the years go on to go back to San Marcos, because if they ask me like, oh, you go to school here? Oh, no, I graduated in 2022. That's not old as fuck.
You don't want to be that guy. You don't want to be that guy.
I don't. I can still kind of get away with it right now because Dylan goes to school, and I could be like, oh yeah, I'm here. My brother goes to school here. I graduated from here. It's not as creepy, but when Dylan graduates,
then it's done. Then it's over.
I'm cooked after that. There's no returning to San Marcos, or at least not the Square.
Yeah, we kind of got a remix now, going out and partying. Like, we kind of got to remix it. We can't be like as sloppy as we once were.
Hey, yeah, that's another one.
Like, we're trying to, like, these are the last year, like literally last year, like by 25, we can't get how we get right now.
Yep. And so this is the other thing I want to say. We need to start transitioning out of this because these are really, they're tough on the body. I'm talking these back-to-backs.
Back-to-backs.
Going back to wrap up. Oh, dude, on a Friday night, and then going out again on a Saturday night. Oh man. Oh man. Especially with
when you got,
our I was gonna say with our crew.
because we don't wake up till like 1 or 2 in the afternoon.
Not literally,
And
because
then
we
we
don't get
literally
back till
eat
like
and then
4
lock
or
in.
5 in the morning. We go to Whataburger or
Yeah.
the fucking Bobcat Quickie.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
we fuck around too much, you know, at the end of the night, and it's just not doable anymore, you know, because Sunday my body is in shambles after drinking 2 nights in a row. Let's be real here.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you. Another thing I've been proposing is we need to start doing B&B trips to random cities, as in like new
Yes.
cities. Like besides doing like the normal cities in Texas, like Austin, Dallas, or Houston, we need to pick like a B&B like 2 months ahead of 2 months ahead of the time for a weekend. Like let's go to Seattle. You know what I'm saying? Let's go to like New York for a B&B. You know what I'm saying? Like shit like that. Like let's go to Nashville.
That's
Get
some
a B&B.
adult shit.
But that's
Some
fly though.
adult shit.
Because
Yeah.
let's say we get a B&B in Nashville. We go B&B Nashville. We can go on Broadway Street and then go back to the B&B. Like this, we can get away with going on Broadway Street, like 6th Street. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I think you're 100% right, man. Is there anything else you want to add to this list? Because I think this is a beautiful part of life, though. It's the transition of.
I see.
Like,
You're gonna serious this out. Look at you. You're
no. I'm just saying, like,
out.
this is like we're transitioning from our college party phase into our adult. Hey, we can still have fun. We're still gonna have our parties, but maybe just not in the same way that we used to when we were at Texas State, still going to school and stuff. Like I said, I'm all on board with the idea of not wearing costumes out in public anymore. I think at a certain age, you're just a little too old for that.
Yeah, they gotta be uber creative, to be honest.
Yeah,
like
transition from. Hey, we got to transition from the back-to-backs. Transition from the costumes. What else did we say?
We got to give up. I think it's almost time to like really give up, like just in general being like, I don't know, sloppy. Like I think now it's time we got to start cleaning up our act. You know what I'm saying? We can't be getting off this. I feel
Speak
like
for yourself.
Oh, see, here you go. Hey, I think like for
24
example,
years,
like,
man. I'm 24 years clean.
You stay
I can't
being
say
sloppy.
I've been sloppy.
Stop it. No, but I'm just saying that we got to start cleaning up our act, because not saying that we don't like have good acts, but like saying shit like the amount of friends that I have that are late to everything. Like, bro, you're 23, 24. How you this late to like remedial shit? Like remedial, like us meeting somewhere. How are you like 45 minutes late to shit like that? Like, how are you like 10, 15 minutes late to work? Like, we're not in high school no more. You shouldn't be late to work as much as you are. Like, you're gonna get fired. Like shit like that. We need to stop. We need to stop that. Yeah, you know what I mean,
I get it. I mean, I get like the work stuff, but showing up to parties late. I mean, I gotta say, I kind of relate, dude. I mean, I can't sit here and say that I ever show up to parties on time. So
I'm just not just parties, just functions. Like if we're gonna go meet up somewhere for like, hey, can you come over to my house and help me with this shit? And you're like an hour late to when you said you're gonna come help me out.
That's different. That's different. Because if like I'm waiting for you to like come help me move my couch or something, and I got shit to do like at 7, and I expect you here at 6, I'm gonna be a little pissed.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like it's like on some like let's lock the fuck in. You know what I'm saying?
Be adults, you know.
Exactly. Another thing that I'm realizing that I'm falling in love with this summer is the Olympics. Like, because really the last Olympics, maybe it was the fact that like it was just COVID and we didn't really care too much about the Olympics. But like this is the most I gave a fuck about like certain sports that I don't do the other 3-4 years. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe it's because like this is the first time where we kind of have, I don't want to use the word heroes, but the first time we have like,
what do you mean,
superstars back into the Olympics?
We don't have heroes. We had
like
Le Revolutionary on the front of the USA boat, crossing the said river like he was George Washington. Come on, dude. We're talking about heroes. LeBron is the founding father
The founding father, is that what you're calling him now?
The founding father. He's about to will the USA basketball team to a gold. And you could call me a Le Glazer all you want.
The flag bearer.
The flag bearer.
I'm not gonna lie, he looked dope with that flag. I love that Devin Booker. Like, dude, yeah, look at his posture. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. He looked awesome, and I really think he's bringing out the best of all these guys. We'll transition to the other sports because I love what else, everything else, and we can have a more nuanced conversation about basketball. But especially because we're just very early into the tournament. Yeah, I'm very impressed with USA basketball and how they've come out and started. Though LeBron, they were criticized a little bit before the Olympics started, but since then they've really cleaned it up. KD had an awesome game the other day against Serbia.
KD looked like a demigod against Serbia. What was he? First half he was like 8 for 8, something crazy like that, and Braun was like 6 for 6 on like his dunks. Like, yeah, I kind of tried to plant the seeds of narratives and storytelling, like, oh, this is the best that international basketball is, and the U.S. is gonna have it rough. There's still a really large gap. I'm kind of starting to see it. Like, these teams aren't bad. Like, Serbia is good. Jokic was trying his hardest. I felt for Jokic. Like, Jokic was getting the ball on the block, posted up on Embiid and AD, getting the tough leg, getting the tough hook shot, and then he had to run down the court and then see KD open for a 3. See Steph go down the pick and roll. See Braun slashing on the baseline. Like, bro, if I'm Jokic, I'm fucking sick. Like, I go through these guys enough.
Yeah,
but I guess I overestimate how good these teams were. That French team is so mid. It's so below mid, bro. Like, I thought Wemby would be able to make a difference on the team. That team has no guards. They stink. That French team stinks.
Canada is very good, though, so we'll keep an eye on the rest of the...
Canada's Jamal Murray has been stinking it up for Canada.
Yeah, I mean, again, the USA is the heavy favorite. They need to finish the job, get the gold, and then we can have our conversation about basketball. But let's talk about the rest of the tournament, man, because I do really love what the Olympics are and what they bring. What did you think of the opening ceremony? Because I personally loved it. I think they did a great job of like touring the city and all of the culture of France, and like a cool way for the athletes to come in on all the boats.
I thought the boats were cool. I heard it smelled like shit because you know how with the River Seine, they were supposed to clean it up to have the big triathlon and a lot of the swimming events in the river, and they spent like $1.6 billion on cleaning up the river, which honestly, like, not to serious this out, if they were able to spend $1.6 billion to clean up a river, you don't think, just for an Olympics, you don't think that the world could have climate change already solved by now if they actually gave a fuck?
Yeah,
but that's a conversation for another day. Like,
yeah, and it's not even clean though. Like they had to move the triathlon.
Yeah, but the point is, look how quickly they were to get the resources just to like attempt something like that. Oh, if it's the Olympics, we got to clean the river. It's like, you guys just don't want to clean the river just because maybe it'd be safer for people. It's like, live in the area, you know what I'm saying? You guys don't want to fix world hunger, but I don't want to serious this out. But I do think a lot of the background and the venues for Paris have been really dope. Like, you saw beach volleyball. They have the whole background of the Eiffel Tower right behind on the broadcast. That is so dope. And even having, I think fencing had their events like in a specific like arena where like just the architecture of the building on the inside looked crazy cool. So I think Paris has done a solid job so far.
Yeah, I agree. And I think another fun part about the Olympics is watching sports that you have no idea what's going on. I was watching rugby the other day, which was a blast. And this morning I found myself watching shooting, like rifle shooting.
Yeah, I've been laughing at all the pictures of the rifle guys, like how they shoot their guns.
Yeah, there was the one guy who won like I think a silver, and he shot like without equipment, I guess. And he was
he looked like he just got off of work when he shot that motherfucker.
He said something like, "You said I don't need equipment because I'm a real shooter."
Yeah. No, that was a crazy quote. Nah, but I'm with you. Like, I like the fact that NBC has done a really good job portraying like the different storylines, like Flavor Flav supporting women's water polo, the whole Simone Biles USA Gymnastics, which has
She's
been
a
a highlight so
badass.
far. It's been a highlight so far. And just in general, I think the Olympics has done a really good job. Now we're at the point, like, as we're recording this on August 2nd, a Friday, it's main event time. Like, track and field, which honestly, track and field has kind of lost a little bit of its luster with Bolt, like, retiring, like, 2 Olympics, like, in Rio. Like, 2020, like I said, we didn't really care. And this year, I think this is going to be the year where the 100-meter, because as far as I'm concerned, I feel like the 100-meter track event is the marquee event for the Olympics. Like, you tell me if I'm wrong. I've always thought it, even when it was Phelps was in swimming, everybody stopped what they're doing to watch the 100-meter race. Always.
I mean, yeah, it is definitely one of the marquee events, but I wouldn't say it's the.
I think it's the marquee events because
I think it's the number one most watched event.
Most watch event. I think it's the 100 meters.
You think over like gymnastics, swimming?
I think gymnastics has gotten higher because of Simone. Like, if I had to do like a top 4, top 5 of the events that I think most people watch and most people like have the most prestige, I think track and field, specifically the 100 meter, is number 1. Like, the title of who's the fastest man on earth, no other event really has that. I would have to say, because of Simone, people are caring a lot more about gymnastics. So I'd probably put women's gymnastics at second. Third, I'd have to probably say, what is it called? The 200 meter in swimming. But because I think even after Phelps, people are still caring a lot about it. Not saying people don't care, but I'm just talking about the marquee events.
Yeah.
So I'd have to go the 100 meter, the 100 meter race in track and field, women's gymnastics, and probably the 200 men's swimming. I think those are the 3 events. I would say soccer in there, but the problem with soccer is no superstars really play the soccer tournament. And I think that is obviously
still soccer.
It is still soccer, and people still care about it. Obviously, like, unfortunately from Argentina and the U.S., they both got knocked out today or yesterday. U.S. lost to Morocco, and Argentina lost to France today, which is a whole story in and of itself. But I think because soccer can't have the superstars there, because FIFA's kind of like, yeah, no, we saved the superstars for the World Cup. We're not going to let you use them for the Olympics, even though they've gotten lenient. Because basically the way that soccer works is like it's kind of like a 23 and under tournament. But they allow up to, I think, 5 players. I think 3 to 5 players over the age of 23 are allowed on that team. So Argentina has, like, I think 3 or 4 senior players on the Copa America team, on the World Cup winning team, on their Olympic team. So I think that's the difference, because I'm with you. I think I might be inclined to put basketball there just because of how big USA basketball is. But I don't think USA basketball is the marquee event because everybody knows who wins.
Yeah, I mean, it is definitely interesting to think about, like, the competitiveness that they face in this tournament compared to in the past and what they'll face in the future. And we can talk about that in a future episode because, again, they got to finish the job. As much as I love the founding father, Le Revolutionary, and everything that the USA basketball team has been doing at Paris so far, like I said, I need to see them win the gold before we can have these conversations. But again, overall, I think you're right. The event is really just like it's considered marquee because USA basketball is so good. But I really don't think it falls into the same category as any of the ones you mentioned earlier. I think even soccer would be ahead of it.
If soccer was allowed to have the superstars, soccer would probably be first.
I think that's fair. Yeah.
If soccer was allowed to have the superstars, they would be first. But
because it would basically just be like another World Cup.
It would be another World Cup. That's why FIFA doesn't want them there. And I get it. Like, if I'm FIFA, you damn right I'm not gonna let them come play. When we get the World Cup in 2 years, and that's the only event, you know what I'm saying? Because it would diminish people wanting to watch the World Cup in a way.
Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate because it diminishes the Olympics. But I mean,
we have so many great events that I think soccer can kind of take a back seat for this. Like, what is it, 2.5, 3 weeks?
Exactly. Another one I'm looking forward to. I don't know if they've had events yet. I should look at it. I want to see how wrestling is doing.
I think wrestling already went like but again, I'm not familiar too much. There's only like certain events that I keep up with. I did watch a lot of
Their
water
August
polo.
6th is when wrestling starts.
Okay, yeah. Then soccer and basketball take up the whole length of the tournament. I know gymnastics is over with, fencing is over with, swimming is done with. I'm trying to think what else. Rifle shooting, I think, is done with. A lot of stuff. But tennis is still going on. But track and field is about to start right now. But
yeah,
like I said, I was also heartbroken to figure out that we're not going to have any more Mario and Sonic games. They announced that they're going to be opting to do more like
boo.
not even esports. They're going to be doing like NFTs and shit. So they
This is
stopped
bullshit.
But really,
this is not the America I grew up in.
Bro, what Mario and Sonic Olympic Games and Olympic Winter Games got me into the Olympics. Like, it got me into the Olympics. Me and my brothers used to play that year round. I was stupid nice snowboarding and doing I was stupid and the 100-yard dash. Oh my gosh. I was stupid nice.
It's so funny we have the same memories of that game, but I think we just got our hopes too high because we got NCAA revived and now we're like, bring back Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Winter Games and bring back all of these old
gun to your head. Would you rather keep Mario and Sonic or NCAA?
NCAA. Man, it's not.
Oh, yeah, you're out your mind. You're out your mind.
Mario and Sonic clear. I don't own a Nintendo console, bro. I don't have a child at the moment. Until I get until there's another Wii console and I have a child that can play this console.
You're gonna lock in and then you're gonna realize, damn, I was wrong. That's what you're gonna tell yourself.
Maybe. But as of right now, NCAA is doing the job. And we're getting Dragon Ball Z Tenkaichi Budokai soon. So
new really COD too. Like I said, we getting some dope ass games and shit too. Not to be on our gamer nerd stuff.
But we're putting you on to some video games the same way we would normally put you on to movies and music, which I think is a perfect segue into our favorite segment of the show.
Put you on. Yeah, I think we smoked that. Yeah,
hey, I think that was pretty good, y'all. Let's see how we did in the comments.
Make sure in the comments down below for sure. Well, I guess I'll start off. It's been a hot minute. I say we start with some music. Music wise, I'm definitely since it's summertime. This project, it's kind of gone on the radar. It came out last week. Yeah, it came out last week. DJ Mustard's Faith of a Mustard Seed. I know a lot of people were hoping that maybe the Kendrick snippet at the beginning of the Not Like Us video was in there. Unfortunately, it wasn't. But DJ Mustard did a really, really good job with this album. It's very West Coast, unapologetically. But it has that classic DJ Mustard bounce, and I really like it. Some of my favorite songs gotta be Worth a Heartbreak with Blast and A Boogie, Minds with Ty Dolla $ign and Future, and Can't Forget Charlie Wilson, and then Ghetto with Young Thug and Little Durk. So Faith of a Mustard Seed by DJ Mustard is what I've been listening to a lot.
All right, fuck yeah. I like the Mustard selection. Very underrated producer. I think we've talked about it on the podcast before, but again, I like that you said you know what to expect from this album, but he does it so well. For me, I'm gonna go with an album that I've been looking forward to. Just came out last night, actually, as we record this, and it's "Sincere" by Khalid. And yeah, I'm really just impressed by the way that he's grown as a songwriter. His like essential sound is still there, but just the songwriting process for me, I feel like has gotten better for him album, and this one is no different. Not a lot of features either, so he's letting himself do a lot of the work. I like the opening track, Adore You. Broken is really good. Please Don't Fall in Love with Me, and Heat Stroke. It's a pretty good one for the summer.
I fuck with it. I might have to tap in because I haven't really listened to too much Khalid of recent. But
he hasn't really released anything, man. It's been a while since Free Spirit because, I mean, it's been like here and there. He dropped an EP that was kind of like mixed reviews, I guess. But
yeah,
I feel pretty good about this full-length album. It's 16 tracks.
Okay.
So
Bet.
yeah.
I'll tap in. And then movies and TV shows. I got a TV show. There's breaking news that Apple TV is like cutting back the budget for a lot of their TV shows. And a lot of people don't know this. Apple TV has the best original TV shows by far. By far. With Ted Lasso, with what's it called? I said best, I can't remember the names. Like just in general, Apple TV has the best original TV shows. But the show that I want to talk about is Presumed Innocent with Jake Gyllenhaal. When you know Jake Gyllenhaal is in it, like he's one of the elite whites, especially when it comes to like acting. When Jake Gyllenhaal is in some shit, like it's gonna be fire. Presumed Innocent is off this. It's based off of a book and the Harrison Ford movie, like in 2001, 2000, and basically this prosecutor, he gets charged with murder, of murdering another prosecutor in his office, and it's like a kind of like a murder mystery. So it's fire. If you got nothing to watch, like a Friday, Saturday night, it's like 8 episodes. You can easily binge like 3 or 4 in a night. Like it's fire. It's so fire. Presumed Innocent, and it ended off really, really good. And it, like, it's not one of those shows that like gives you fucking blue balls at the end. Like great show.
Great to hear it. Apple TV stepping up their game with this TV show, maybe for the last time after budget cuts.
Yeah, because they spent what's it called? They spent a lot of the budget of their shows on this show called Severance, which is a fire. Because the next episode I think is like $2 million an episode, or 20 million. It's one. It's a big difference, but it's just a zero if you really think about it. But fire. I'm telling you, Apple TV has got the best shows, bro, by far.
Yeah, well, I'm going to start mine with a fair warning that this statement will probably be, redacted to in the near future. This might be the last good movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and I'm talking about Deadpool and Wolverine. And obviously, it's a box office hit. So I'm not really putting anybody onto this, but I highly recommend. I did watch it.
What'd you think of it? Because I already watched it too, but I just want to.
I thought it was a lot of fun, dude. It doesn't take itself too seriously. It sees all of the nonsense of the MCU, and Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds are just so perfect for the roles that they play. All the little cameos and guest appearances are great. Yeah, man, really no complaints. I think it was everything that I was expecting it to be. Even the end credit scene, I didn't expect anything to break the MCU. It was just something funny.
No, I thought it was cool. Like I said, I've definitely outgrown a lot of the Deadpool 2016 comedy, like break the fourth wall. It was funny. And I like Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. Who doesn't like Hugh Jackman as Wolverine? I don't know. I liked it. I thought it was solid on first watch. Maybe my expectations of MCU is just lower, like the rest of us, like everybody else. But I thought it was a solid movie. I think it's one of those movies that there's a lot of novelty in the cameos and the first watch that for sure probably not going to age the greatest. Like if you try to go back, especially.
Did you watch it in a packed theater too? Yeah. See, I think that was what I enjoyed about it too. Is I watched it with a big group of friends. We watched it on Friday. It came out, and it was just a really cool experience just seeing that many people at the theater. Maybe it was just because it had been so long since I'd been to a movie that it was so anticipated since COVID. I mean, there had been some big movies, but I kind of missed some of them. I wasn't there for the Oppenheimer Barbie train, so I kind of missed all of that. But being back at the theater, seeing it packed with people, that was just a fun experience for me. I think that's why I enjoyed this movie more so than maybe others. But it was cool. Like I said, fun for what it was. But yeah, like I said, I'm getting tired of the MCU. I think Deadpool also makes a lot of jokes about how people are getting tired of the MCU. So maybe Disney doesn't.
And they did the cash grab now with RDJ coming back as Doom.
Oh, brother.
I'm not really the biggest fan. I thought the reveal was cool. I'm not gonna lie. I would have rather the reveal of Doom. Imagine this, right? I think it's obvious cash grab. I think it's an obvious they're milking the end of it. But I think it would have been cool if it was RDJ in one way and one way only. If they would if they announced, right, Russo Brothers is doing Doomsday and they're doing Secret Wars, right? And then like a week or two after, they just announced Doom has already been cast. They don't say who it is. They throw out a bunch of names. They don't say who it is. A couple years go by, people forget about it. Doomsday comes, and in the movie of Doomsday, that's when they reveal that it's RDJ. That would have been 20 times better than what they did on Comic-Con. Like how they set it up on Comic-Con isn't the issue. It's just the fact that they revealed it at Comic-Con. I feel like it's just gonna age really fucking bad because I really hope they just don't turn this into like a Tony Stark variant. I really hope they go into that's what they're gonna do, but I really want them to delve into what like who Doctor Doom is as a character. He's one of my favorite MCU characters.
You fucking nailed it right on the head, bro. I agree with everything you just said. And it sucks because I love Robert Downey Jr. I think he's a great actor. He was awesome as Tony Stark, and I think he can do a really good job.
He's gonna do a good job with Doom.
Yeah, I think he's going to do a good job with Doom. But again, this just feels like a cash grab, man. Like they were running out of ideas. They saw how well Deadpool and Wolverine were doing at the office. And I'm sure this is something that they've had planned for years. But yeah, I really don't know what else to say, man. I think the MCU knows what they're doing. It's shameless. And I'm personally not a big fan of it, man. Again, I'm with you. I think if they were going to do this, they should have just not revealed it and let the people find out watching the movie.
Because, bro, imagine if Doomsday came out and it was like, oh, who's Dr. Doom? Who's Dr. Doom? And then it's revealed.
Imagine that pop at the movie theater, or imagine that pop at the end of a like. Even if we found out like at the end of an end credit, I would take that.
Not even the end credit scene, like just the end. Like you find out after they flesh him out a little bit, then I think people will be a lot more lenient to what you're gonna do with RDJ and Doom. Because now we know what they're gonna do. They're gonna turn into a variant of Tony Stark. At some point, they're gonna bring Spider-Man into this. Like, and you're just like, bro, I see the play like a mile away, man. Like, I see the play a mile away, and I'm like, yeah, not really the biggest fan of him. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would have like the first choice would have been would have loved if they just casted a new actor to do Doom. But if they're gonna do RDJ, I just don't think this was the way. Like, don't get me wrong, it was cool him pulling off the mask because I remember watching on Twitter. I was like, "What the fuck?" But now it's kind of like, bro.
At that point, like for me, it's like if you're gonna bring back Robert Downey Jr., just bring him back as Iron Man. Like it's like it's not impossible in your universe. Like just bring back a variant of Tony Stark. In my opinion, I just think that makes more sense, and just cast somebody else. Again, nothing against RDJ. I think he's gonna kill it, but I don't know. It seems kind of like counterintuitive to do that when you can cast somebody else who isn't in the franchise. And they even joked about it in Deadpool too, about people who could be cast, and not to say that he would be Doom, but like Henry Cavill. There's still a lot of actors and actresses who could play these roles. So I don't know. That's my thought on it, though.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I just, like I said, I'm gonna end up watching it.
Yeah, but for sure. I mean, we all are.
The expectations are gonna be higher than it's ever been. Like they're gonna fuck it up, but like people are gonna now be hate watching the MCU more than ever.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. I actually have something on my chest that's like been bothering me. Like it's been bubbling up. I know a lot of people in the comments like this is not like a personal thing with this artist. Like I don't know this artist. I like some of their music. Like I really do. But I don't know. The way that Lil Yachty talks about hip hop, it just rubs me the wrong way. Pause. Like the way that he came up with what's the name of his last album? Again, I'm terrible with album names. What's the name of his last album? With Drive Me Crazy and
oh yeah, that's what the heck?
Cherokee.
Let's start here.
Let's Start Here is a really, really good album. But him like making comments like, and it's not just him, but like when certain rappers start making like alternative hip hop music or like hip hop music that leans more alternative, they want to shit on hip hop. You know what I mean? And like when I was like I guess in the past when I never understood what that meant, I was like, oh, he just wants to try some shit new. But the more I hear artists say this, like him, I know Tyler Creator's made comments about it before. Same with like a lot of other artists, right? And they might not feel the same, but like when artists say some shit like that, I just see it so fucking corny. Like there's nothing wrong with making hip hop music. Like there's nothing, even traditional hip hop music, there's nothing wrong with doing it. You might think it's oversaturated and a lot of the stuff is just like lacks originality. And I agree with you. But to say that like you're better because you make alternative music than hip hop, I don't know. It's just like low-key dog whistling type shit. Like I just don't like when artists say that. Like just shitting on the shit that like made you fall in love with it and made people want to make that type of music. Like you're just shitting on it. You know what I'm saying? I don't like it. So when Yachty makes certain comments about hip hop, like he was on Flagrant 2, and he said a lot of flagrant shit, but tush. But him commenting about like how he doesn't really listen to hip hop now, and because it's not as good as it once was, but you've never heard Blueprint, or you just now listen to the Black Print, or you just now listening to the Blueprint and the Black Album by Jay-Z like a couple weeks ago. It's like, how can you make a comment of like hip hop's not good anymore when you haven't even heard of the albums that made it good when it was? You know what I mean? It's kind of like, it's very contradicting. It's very contradicting. And then you leak the song with you and Drake, right? You shit on the artist that you sampled, saying that he's some social media influencer and whatever. He didn't want to clear my song. So instead of clearing it and working something out with him, he didn't want to let me use the song. So fuck it, I leaked it. Like, I don't know, like you admitting that, I can see like how a lot of like artists, that's gonna rub them the wrong way. Like, bro, he might not be as big as you and Drake, but for you to say that shit, like, oh yeah, he didn't want to let us use the song, so we said fuck it, leak it. So maybe that lets him let us perform it, or let us like work out a deal. It's like, bro, that's corny. Like you asked for his wishes, he said no. If you were gonna just release it, then just fucking, you should have just released it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Yeah. I feel like a lot of the stuff that Yachty says is very it's just cringeworthy. It ain't even gotta be deep, I guess. What can you say? Like, I don't know.
No, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah. Like, I don't know how you feel about his comments, because every time I see him talk about it, now he says he's quitting the internet because he doesn't like the people reacting to the backlash of him saying, I don't know. Like, I'm a fan of Yachty's music, but some of the stuff he says about hip hop, I'm just like, bro. Like, yes, you are a successful hip hop in quotation act, but like, I don't know, man. I feel like a lot of people just use hip hop, shit on it, and then leave to go do something else, like Post Malone. Like, I just don't like when they do that. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Okay, well, for starters, I think the releasing the song through Kai, or I guess like releasing it through not streaming platforms, even though that other artists declined to clear the sample, I mean, dude, there's so many artists who do it anyways and have done it for years. So I can't really fault Lil Yachty for that. But I will side with you on everything else you said about his comments about just hip hop in general. And I think just the way he approaches the music and the industry right now, because we talked about it on a previous episode, and I made it very clear too that I did not like the way he was talking about hip hop and saying that it was in a bad spot. Is he correct on some of those views? Again, like, is he correct in some of the things that he is saying? Yes, but he is not the person that it should be coming from, because he is engaging in a lot of these acts that like are exactly what.
Yeah, bro. Like he made a song with Ian, and shout out to Ian. I don't really have no hate for him, but like those are the guys that he's talking about. Like those are the guys that you say don't make hip hop good, but yet you're making songs with them. Like, which one is it? Like, that was also you. You were also that guy for the longest time. Don't think that you made an alternative album and a couple like slaps that's not you. That hasn't been you. You know
that doesn't make him. Yeah, that doesn't make him this like lyrical, spiritual. Like he's not.
Not even lyrical, spiritual. Like that doesn't make you better than these certain artists, because I can make alternative songs and I can sing in a certain key and I can sing raspy and it's art and it's artistic. Like, bro, like fuck off, bro. Like fuck off. Like he just really reminded me that he's really like Lil Yachty's kind of like Tyler the Creator's evil twin, like in a lot of the shit that he's saying, because Tyler, like, has said some of this stuff too, right? But at least with Tyler, I feel like he's misunderstood, at least in my opinion, about some of the stuff he says about hip hop culture. But also, you can tell like Tyler has such a love for hip hop and just music in general that I don't know if I get that from Yachty. Like, in my opinion, in my impression of whenever he talks, I don't know if I get that certain love from him. Like, it just sounds like he's hating on that shit a lot.
Yeah, I think that's an interesting comparison because, like, when I think about it from Tyler's point of view, it was more of like he released Igor and he didn't want that album to be viewed as a hip hop album. More so that, like, I think Yachty uses "Let's Start Here" as like his let me talk about this stuff because
Like,
I
let
made
me
this
be like,
album.
I made this album, so I'm more serious. Like, I should be taken like more serious as an artist because I make an alternative album.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
bro, like,
I don't feel like
it's not even
Tyler's ever
that.
done that.
Yeah, like, I didn't get that impression with Igor and with Flower Boy. Like, it wasn't him like being like, oh, I'm different. Like, I'm better than y'all because I can make alternative music. He's like, I like to make alternative music. You know what I'm saying? Like, alternative hip hop music. I want to push it. And even, bro, he made a fucking Gangsta Grillz fucking album. That's hip hop as fuck. Like, I don't know. Like, a lot of the stuff that Yachty says about hip hop, and then he kind of just plays the victim of like, oh my god, y'all are overreacting. It's like, bro, like, you're throwing rocks and hiding your hands. Like, you should be allowed to be criticized about some of the shit you say. Like, feel so strong about it.
He's been hanging out with Drake too much, honestly.
I don't even think Drake feels this way about certain shit he says. Like, I don't know. That's just me. Again, I don't know.
He said some crazy shit about like Drake in the recording like industry though.
What you
like
mean?
in that little snippet I saw. Well, he had said that him and Drake, or I guess that like Drake doesn't charge for features.
I believe it.
I guess
believe Drake at this point in his career, like, he doesn't him personally, he doesn't charge for features. Maybe his label is going to charge for like certain splits for his features, but I don't believe Drake is like, oh yeah, Live Boy JB, here's such as 1,000. If you want to feature this, how much it's going to cost? Like, maybe when he was younger, yeah, but I don't feel like he's like that. Again, it's not saying he doesn't get money from the song. You know what I'm saying? That's different. Like, because the label kind of has to say more than him. But I don't think. I feel like that's how it is with all the big artists. Like, I don't feel like Kendrick is hopping on some shit like making niggas pay for him.
That's fair.
I don't feel like Future does it. I don't feel like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe it kind of caught me off guard a little bit, just to hear that. I guess there's no form of money exchange.
J. Cole talk about it. Like, he only makes songs with people he like fucks with like that. He talked about I think it was Nicki when he had that feature on the Nicki Minaj album. Like, how J. Cole just pulled up one day on some therapy session type shit. J. Cole, who would have guessed?
Yeah.
But like, he didn't even charge her on some that type of shit.
Yeah,
I believe it. Like, when you're that big, it's like, I feel like they're able to like take a step back from the money wise. Like, they're gonna get their bread, they're gonna get their splits for sure. But they're not being like, oh yeah, let's make a song.
Up front,
made this song, I want 100,000. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just my impression of it.
No, that makes sense. I mean, I think Yachty talked about it in the interview too. If like smaller artists too reaching out to these bigger artists, that's when they'll kind of like take the money.
Well, if they don't know you, but artists, I feel like through the test of time, they've talked about like how like if you really make that connection with an artist, they won't really charge you like that, like for the sake of the music. At least that's my opinion of it and what I've understood. Like, they'll of course take brown paper bag money and like, oh, I'll do this shitty feature for some guy somewhere because he asked. You know what I'm saying? Or I'll rent Taylor Swift for $100,000 for this feature, or you know what I'm saying, like some random white girl. But I feel like between hip hop acts, especially the major guys, like if they fuck with you, they're not going to charge you for a feature.
That's fair. That makes sense.
Yeah. But so what else we got on the docket? I got my shit off I want to say about Yachty. Again, there's no hate to Yachty. Don't know the guy. Fuck with some of his music, but I don't know.
Fuck with his music
about hip hop. I was like, that's kind of corny.
No, for sure. I'm with you too. Like, I fuck with his music, but I think he needs to operate a little bit, a little bit smoother, because right now he's not doing it for me.
Yeah. I wanted to say like Laura Ingram said, shut up and dribble. How about that? Hey, that's it. What did we have a conversation about? Right message, wrong messenger. Like, that shit really applies to how I feel about a lot of celebrities. she's just a racist. But like a lot of the shit that like that phrase, I feel like should be a lot of like the cult of personality with celebrities. Like the whole shit with the Olympics. Like I don't know if you've been paying attention to really like a story that was about nothing turned into a big like gender wars. Not even gender wars, just like a lot of transphobia. Like the whole female boxing right at the Olympics, right? Let me break it down. There's a boxer from Algeria and a boxer from Italy. They were set to fight, right? I cannot like remember the names off my top of my head. So again, if you don't want to hear me talk about this, just subscribe before you head out. But female boxer from Algeria, the Algerian boxer and the Italian boxer, right? They're set to fight in the Olympics. 40 seconds into the fight, the Algerian boxer popped the Italian straight in the mouth. She quit. She threw in the towel. 40 seconds into the fight. After the fight, they asked her why. Like, why'd you just quit after 40 seconds? And she basically insinuated that like she shouldn't be in the same ring as the Algerian boxer because she's never been hit so hard in her life. And she was insinuating that Shorty was a man, which sparked the whole transgenders in women boxing and women's sports, like that whole topic of flipping, which is a touchy subject in and of itself. And so all these celebrities and these transphobic people made a lot of transphobic comments, a la Logan Paul, a la J.K. Rowling, all right? Talking about we shouldn't have a man in women's sports beating up on our women. We should protect women, right? I'm all for protecting women. And I feel like the whole transgenders in sports conversation needs to have a lot of nuance to it. You know what the kicker is? The Algerian was a woman. She was a born woman. Was a woman on her passport, on all her legal documentations her entire life. She was not a transgender. So they just put that shit on her, and she was not a transgender.
That's funny as shit.
Also, she's representing a country in Algeria that's incredibly transphobic. Like they find like being transphobic a crime. Do you think they would let her be transphobic? Like, let's think real quick. You think they'd let her be transphobic? And
not transphobic. Yeah.
Transgender. Transgender. You think they'd let her be transgender and send her to the fucking Olympics? Like, let's be fucking for real. Like this is what I'm saying. Like, people lack like reading level, like reading literacy. They fucking lack it. Because bro, now this Algerian boxer is getting so much hate, so much transphobic hate for no fucking reason, just because she's good at boxing.
But she's literally a woman.
And the reason why they bring it up too is because like in I think the 2020, she competed in the 2020 Olympics, but in a competition like a couple years ago, she wasn't allowed to compete because she had really high levels of testosterone, which can be caused by a bunch of other things than besides being transgender. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And just in my opinion, I feel like she was allowed to compete. The IBF, the International Boxing Federation, said that she wasn't for a certain competition. And the Olympics was like the IOC, the Olympics Committee, was on some like, yeah, you guys are kind of shady, so we're going to do our own testing. And we did our testing, and she's good to perform. She's not doing anything shady. So, like, to see these people, like, still dig in deep, like, you guys made a topic out of nothing, and you really shitted on this poor girl that was doing her best. Like, bro, she was... Like, bro, she beat her ass. And this Italian girl now is trying to offer an apology. Like, bitch, you knew what the fuck you was doing. You knew what you was doing, dog whistling like that. Like, now she's getting all this fucking hate for no reason. And it's not like she's fucking unbeatable. Like, Gage, she's lost 9 times. She didn't even medal in the 2020 Olympics.
That's funny.
Like, she just has a genetic advantage than the rest of you girls. Like, but that's sports. That's how it works. Like,
yeah,
Usain Bolt had his limbs were longer, which made him a better fucking athlete. Like, I think it was like his leg to hip ratio or something like that made him a better runner. Phelps had really long fucking arms that made him a better swimmer. LeBron is 6'9", fastest guy on the court and jumped the fucking highest, and he weighs the most. You think that's fucking you think it's fair? No, it's not. That's how sports work. People had genetic advantages.
Hey, especially at the Olympics, man. I mean, think about all of those athletes. You have to have an ego check, dude. Like, you were competing with every single athlete, the best athlete in that sport in every other country. Like, think about that for a second, man. That's insane levels of competitiveness. And like, let's be real here, dude. You got to be 100% ready take the silver, take the bronze, and shit. Just be happy for competing and getting there, because I mean, that's the
beauty of the
fun
Olympics, man.
and that's the fun and unfortunate thing about the Olympics, is that it's every 4 years, and like for these athletes, this is their one chance, and I think that's what makes it so enthralling for us, is we're watching these athletes compete for everything they've worked for the last 4 years. I mean, basically their whole lives, but like, you know, within the Olympic start period or whatever, 4 years of training goes towards this, and we're watching them put everything towards trying to medal.
And then that's the one, like I said, the bad thing about the having the spotlight is you get a lot of fucking people that can't read, a la Logan Paul, and then Logan Paul didn't walk it back. He just said oopsies. Like, you fucking dickhead. Like, you just
fucking idiot. I hate Logan.
Like, you sent like this big wave of just hate towards her when you could have just shut the fuck up and read some shit. Like, just read. Like, just fucking read. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't even feel like it was like getting political. Like, there's just a certain level of fucking stupidity that these people have. Like, and this is coming from two guys that's on a podcast, Mike, but we're not that fucking stupid, bro. I promise you, we not like that. Like, I promise you, we not like that. Like, I don't know, man. I just have to get that shit off my chest. Like, because we're talking about the Olympics and just that in general.
No, I think that's valid, man. And it's an interesting storyline I didn't even know about. But
yeah, tap in, bro. Like, it was literally people shitting on her for 3 hours, and then people being like, maybe y'all should read some more. And everyone's like, she's still not a woman because she has too much testosterone? Question mark. It's like, you guys are fucking idiots. Like, keep reading.
Get off the internet, man.
Yeah, bad. Like, go outside, touch some fucking grass. And now people they're shitting on Simone Biles' husband because he was wearing her fucking medal. Like, bro, if my girl won a fucking gold medal at the Olympics, I'm wearing that bitch everywhere. Like, what the fuck is y'all talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all just be miserable for no fucking reason. Like, I don't know, man. But it's another episode of AWR. You already know. This is Young Rottweiler 007, Mr. Good Looking, Mr. Pronouns.
Can I give a shout out to my quarterback of the Green Bay Packers, Jordan Love, for getting his big contract
extension.
To wrap it up
before we got here.
I'm sorry, but I had to do it. He's my guy, and he well deserved. The Packers have a quarterback for another 4 years, and Ethan is in hell. So
I'm not in hell. My team is on the quest to do 3 in a row.
Here we go again. All right, end the show.
Yeah. Let's wrap this bitch up.
Wrap this up.
But it's been Ethan Hamilton, the Young Rottweiler. I got the coldest co-host in co-host history, 007. He's Mexican, but he looks white. You already know who it is, Mr. Gage Sutton. And thank you guys for watching. Make sure to share this podcast with a friend.
Subscribe.
Share this with a lover.
Share this with a partner.
Share with your lover's lover? Question mark.
Yeah, and your lover's goldfish.
Goldfish, dog, whatever. Tap in. It's been our recording. You know the fucking vibes. Tap in. Peace.